Yeah, hello and welcome to Let's Play of Battle Isle 2. And let's start the intro. I'm not gonna read it out, it has some text, so if you want to read the text, just pause it.
Internal structure. Ready. Security control. Ready. Satellite connection. Ready. System ready for use.
Okay, and that's the game. Dumps you directly in the actual battle. So, first things first, I'll change settings. I think, yeah. Difficulty there's training, easy, difficult, and expert. This is one game where I strongly suggest never playing with training or easy, and the reason is that this is a turn-based strategy games, and I'd say one of my top 10 of all time. But the thing is, the rules how the game is played change drastically based on the difficulty level. On training, this is barely a strategy game at all. A lot of the finesse in the system simply get removed on training. Same with easy. So if you want to play a strategy game at all, I'd suggest to play at difficult. Expert is debatable, I'd say. So I'm going with difficult. Otherwise, there's really not much point in bothering to play. Battle settings. Battle display. Basically, there's a animated combat sequence whenever we fight. We can turn it up. I'll try it. Normal is too slow for us. Medium, maybe. But I'll try it fast at first. I don't want to turn it off because it's one of the peculiarities of this game. So I do want to at least show it off. I can also skip it each time individually by just pressing the right mouse button. So it's not like if it gets tedious, I can just skip it manually. Effects music, loud, effects medium. I can't do a lot about the sound because I can't. Clicking with the effects just basically does nothing. At least soft, medium, and loud are basically the same. So I'll check that the sounds are somewhat imbalanced. So hopefully that's just good enough. As well save here. I don't want to read through these. Yeah, Battle All 2. So why is it so great? First of all, I do like quite a bit the graphical look compared to other games that I like quite a bit, like Fantasy General. This is a lot better graphical look, very colorful. It's easy to see what each thing is here, even if you don't get the explanation. We are the blue guys, so red is the enemy, so even then sides are very easy to spot here. It's not very realistically drawn, but everything is done exactly what you need to see if you're playing a strategy game. The user interface is very sleek. I'd say its point that initially it's accidentally you can get into places because it's so easy to get there. There's no double clicking, no things like that, just press a button and hold it, things like that. And if you know what each thing does, you can speed up the process quite a bit. So it seems like it's designed by a player who's played this game quite a lot, so it's streamlined. So it's very comfortable once you get to know the system, but initially it can be, I guess, a bit tricky. I don't want to go too much into detail since this is our first mission, and I don't want to get the video bogged down in 15 to 20 minutes of explanation. Probably don't even recall things correctly anyway. Main things we need to know, let's look at our uniques. There's a few types. There's light infantry, recon vehicle, and techno-tracks. Our mission objective is to kill the techno-tracks vehicles here, and we'll probably get the mission objective immediately after we move our first unit. It's a peculiarity of the game and I don't know the reason for it, but do that first. We're not gonna move you. I need to think about this. I need to get rid of that one. So let's start putting pressure on it. We'll attack with our weapon A. That's the only weapon we have. Very fast pace this time. That's good enough for me. We took 5 casualties, they took 3. That's sort of expected. Important details about the units, I guess, is there's 10 bars of health or points of health, which most units. But naturally there's values like, let's look at this one. Yeah, like armor here, 320, and weapon power that determine how much damage you can actually do. And I'm not sure how the math is calculated. I don't really care. It's logical. You don't need to know. You can understand that if you attack with a armored tank against an infantry unit, the tank is going to annihilate the infantry. It's not complicated. It makes perfect sense. And I don't think I need to explain every unit in detail. These, you can see the values here. Weapon A, which is your main gun, It's also highlighted here on the corner. It has 5 ammunition, the secondary gun has 12. But the main gun is what you really want to use. If you run out of the main gun ammunition, you're fudged with the tank. The secondary weapons only has half strength, so you're not gonna fight against other tanks with your secondary weapon. This is how much the unit costs to build. 6 energy, 6 material. Here's visual range, movement, 6, armor 320, and I think that's fuel 2. I don't know what 2 means. And there's 3 icons here. Look at our own ranger. Yep. This one is now highlighted. I think that's the ability to conquer locations like cities on the map. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it probably is changed elevation. It's more of an airplane thing. You can sort of go to high altitude, for example, and you're invulnerable to certain attacks. You need something like missiles to engage a target that's flying at high altitude. What the hell is that then? They tell of unit special abilities. I don't recall what that is. It's not too important. That's some of the basics. You can compare about these units. Light battle robot, demon. 3 to build, 3-2 cost. Yeah, very not too mobile. Low armor, low weapon, low visibility, low visual range. Ranger, it's not any sturdier. The weapon isn't all that powerful, but great visibility, great movement, and take buildings. Buildings would be something like these. Scum. Yeah, this is a neutral one, or unoccupied one. Anyone who takes control of this building also gains control of this extra unit here. But this is a general rule, so if that ranger goes there and takes control of it, he'll leave the building immediately, or city immediately. But if we take control of this after him, we'll all get control of his ranger, so everything that's inside the city gets turned to the side who takes control of it, so that's an important thing to consideration. And here's some others. There are a few important stats here at the corner. They won't matter to you at this moment, and not us either. It becomes more important when there are factories in the map that we can produce new units with. Then these values start to matter quite a bit, but for now I'll just skip them. So let's try to get on with the mission. Last message. The cities of Skomhalta and Skomsebor are being threatened by armored attack. This situation requires immediate intervention of all units. Our reconnaissance has received information about a group of Technotrax tanks which have to be annihilated at all costs. All of the cities come within their range. Glory. Yeah. Destroy all Technotrax tanks. We are counting, that's the strategic map. Our own unit location, enemy unit location, 2 cities. So, 3 tanks we have to destroy. These are 2 cities and our own base here. So, very general strategic view of the battlefield. These are runes, they are radar units. Radar emplacement, visibility 10. Some armor. I think they can move, but the thing is, you'd have to have some kind of a move. I think a vehicle needed to move these or something like that before they could move into them, so you could transport them around. Basically, they're static placements in reality. The enemy only has one radar, so if we take him out, he should be almost blind, but it won't matter at a map this small. We should just focus on destroying the enemy forces. We need to... Our primary task needs to be ridding of ourselves of that ranger. And the reason is we're going to try to take control of this city, but it's also within the range of that ranger. So if we don't kill it, it can retake it, and we'll lose any units that we use to invade the place in the first place. They still have 1 point of life. We'll use our own ranger to finish it. It has to be this one. We can't let him escape. If he escapes here, the demon there will mean that he has the ability to recapture it, so we want to attack the ranger, kill it, and then get as close to that location as possible. And we can capture it. Target buildings occupied and secured. Waiting new mission. Over to the room. I think room is basically our command center or council. Our leadership. Yeah. Now we can take control of the demon. We can use it to basically block the enemy from getting here. We can also, well, not on this turn, but next turn we can probably repair and refuel the vehicle if we want. We can see the energy stat here and material stats. This city produces 5 energy and 8 material every turn. A quick explanation of energy and material. Material is local, energy is global. So you need both to do things. But energy built from all places can be used in every place, but material produced in a place can only be used in that place. So it's if you want to transport material, you have to build out like something like a material item that can be transported manually. You'll have to actually load it into a transport and move it to another place where you want to use it. So it's very cumbersome to move materials around. Energy is free flowing and easy to move around. You don't have to do anything extra. I'm not gonna do a lot with our troops. I guess we should try to attack that one unharmed, but it'll annihilate our infantry if we don't engage it. Or soften it up a bit. 4 casualties, but it might be weak enough to... So it's unable to destroy our unit there, and we have our own unit here next to it, so it might be... its combat capabilities might be weakened. Those are some of the rules that matter. For example, if you play on a too easy level, you won't have things like ammunition or fuel to consider. Flanking doesn't matter, so a lot of experience the units have doesn't matter, so a lot of the rules get simply negated entirely. Let the enemy have their turn. We'll might lose the demon. Quite good. while we are on the subject matter of experience, that's probably one of the unique systems in this game. A lot of games have experience. For example, a lot of strategy games you have either experience or you build a core army that gets transferred from mission to mission, gains experience. This is a unique system. You always have the same units at the start of a mission, no matter what you did in the previous ones, but how much experience you gain from previous missions does get transferred. But it's transferred in an odd way. Well, not odd, it makes somewhat sense, but in a unique way. Basically, if we get experience for this techno tracks, the experience is shown where are my arrows pointing here. If we have a new next mission, we have a techno tracks unit. It will have the experience our units had on the earlier missions. But if we don't have techno track units, we won't have any experience units, at least until we get a mission that has techno tracks. So it's not just experience you're gathering, it's sort of unit type specific, so it matters quite a lot. You can't just ignore certain type of units. Yeah, this is basically a tutorial. It is possible to weaken the enemy by hemming him in before the actual. That unit is now very vulnerable, 2 points of life, so killing it gives us 2 points of experience. This guy has 3. Who do we want to give the experience to? Tank would be great, but he can't get there. I don't want to give it to a demon. Demons are sort of worthless. Ranger, on the other hand, is like somewhat more valuable, so I'd like the experience to go to him. He should get 4 experience overall. Yeah. And that is pretty good. Very good. Got the city there. Big Babe is sending us a message. Strategist Harris, my name is Big Babe. I will soon supply you with the most varied information. Yeah, for varied information. Since the Council fears that the enemy will increasingly deploy weapons against us with which we are unfamiliar, it has sought my support. As an intelligence officer, it would be an honor for me to meet with the great strategist in more peaceful times and imbibe in a glass of Goro. Yeah, who wouldn't want a glass of delicious Goro? So, I do like the fact those little touches here. So even though this is a strategy game, there are sort of personal touches. And objectives aren't just handed out in a very sort of I guess detached way, where you're just given them and that's it. You'll actually talk to people and they react to the things happening on the battlefield. Let's try this. Where can you move? I don't want to attack the tank with our demons because they'll get annihilated. And there's no great benefit for us. We could drain him of his primary weapons, but yeah, it's not worth it. Let's just attack. Yeah. Thanks to our positioning here, that we're surrounding him, we're at quite a bit of advantage over him. Yeah, we should be able to destroy him now. Attack from the rear while he's being surrounded by multiple friendly units. Yeah, he got annihilated. and we get a couple points of experience. There's, I think at 5 experience you get wings, and then there's 5 levels more, so 10 experience might be the maximum. The difference between a no experience unit and something that has full is quite significant, so you do want to gather up as much experience as possible. So an important long-term tactic in this game or strategy is to try to preserve your units, not let them get killed. If you're severely wounded, pull back, try to repair the unit before returning. Losing experience units for nothing is a good way to struggle in this game. The missions will get harder and harder, more complex, have air battles, have naval battles, things like that. Quite huge maps. This is a very small map. Very few units, very similar type of units, very uninteresting targets. We can see the entire map, no fog of war to speak of really. There's a little bit at the edge here, but not much. This is basically a tutorial fight, so I'll try to get through it quite fast. Let's see. They have 4 full health units with no real experience. We have enough fuel and ammunition to take them on. No real worries there. We'll save the demon. Harry is the great strategist. Sasha, premier spokesperson of TitanNet, is pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm sure our paths will cross frequently. You have powerful talents and a great intellect, strategist. It is therefore a pity that you confuse energy with reason. We know how to reach you, Walter Harris. That's the enemy. TitanNet. I'm thinking of attacking this one. The radar emplacement can't retaliate, but it would be a source of experience for us. Basically free experience. It's not a lot, but it's something. There's no reason not to avoid taking it. Yeah, always keep a close eye on the fuel reserves of your units. The range of your vehicles depends on them. But that's true. Even though your fuel... You'd have a fuel to travel your distance. If your fuel is low, you can't travel your full amount. It's nothing we need to concern over on this map. The map is too small to matter. The reason I'm not attacking is because the more units we can get around that one will get more bonuses, so easier it becomes for us to get rid of them. That dead. And we got our wings for the techno track. Not much we can do anymore. Well, we can repair and refuel things if we have. Basically repair or fill. There's no point in filling. And there's little point in repairing either. Repairing means we'll lose experience. But we might as well, we don't really have anything else to do with this. Fill If you use just energy, have no materials, it'll fill up the gas. If you have materials, it'll use up one material points and also restock the ammunition to full. It matters quite a bit. Resupplying your units matters quite a bit in this game. You can even sort of outmaneuver tougher enemies than you can handle by disrupting their supplies. Some units are very short on shots, so they need to constantly refill on ammunition. Some are very greedy on utilizing energy, so they have to be constantly refueled. So if you can disrupt the enemy logistical support and taking over their cities and destroying their logistical units, you can strand their units or have them run out of ammunition so they're easier to take out, things like that. It's a real pick in consideration in this game, and I do like that quite a bit. It's not an easy thing to implement in a game. Not at least in a way that it makes a lot of sense. So this is one of the few that does it right. Uses it to increase the tactical depth of the game. Shot him in the ass while he was already engaged and surrounded, so easy pickings for us. It's just one of those things that doesn't really even exist if you play on too easy difficulty levels, so we are at a disadvantage here. I guess the enemy is in a better terrain, at least for an infantry. The rougher the better. Yeah, this time the advantage was ours, for a couple of reasons. Basically, we were in a better condition and we had quite an experienced unit. Nothing else we can do. End turn. Now the computer probably won't do anything anymore, he's just defending this location. It's a good location because we try to move it there in a tank. It's very hard to go anywhere but this single hex there. So it's a good defensive spot for him. If the biggest problem for him is actually that since he isn't moving, we can take our time and surround him before attacking. I want you to move up there. I want Techno Tracks to gain the experience from this because they're actually useful units. The Rangers are also useful, but they're more of a scouting capturing unit, so it doesn't matter if they have a low experience amount. At least it won't matter as much. On the other hand, tanks are frontline units, so there the experience will make a bigger difference. There are also multiple versions of this game. This is something that I just downloaded because this is an abandoned game basically. So there are a lot of flashier versions. I think with more cutscenes, things like that. And I think Good Old Games is selling at least probably the best version of it, so... I don't have it at the moment. Probably buy it at some point. Since I don't have it now, I can't exactly play it. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. Want to attack. I wanted to use this unit to attack there. Yeah, I screwed up there. Hopefully we don't at least lose any of our squads. I don't think we will. We just have to wait and see what he does. He'll probably attack, yeah. Okay, we survived, that's good. We need to pull back. Yeah, we have the advantage now. Once the fresh troops attack, he should be going down. Well, he's going down. I don't want to use the demon to attack him, even though it might be enough to kill it. I don't want him to get the experience. Demons are... Even a full experienced demon isn't gonna do any good. He didn't attack because he knew that if he attacks, he'll just get destroyed. What turn is it? It's turn 8. The turn limit seems to be 20 on this scenario. Up, back. I could kill it, but I'm wondering, should I capture the city first? It might provide us with something extra, so I'm inclined to capture it first. We don't have any reason to hurry at this point. The enemy can't do anything. What is this? Scumsibor. More energy, more materials. Another place to replenish our troops. Nothing special. So let's end this. Yeah. You have completed your mission successfully. Army 3 experience, Air Force 0, Marine 0. Next mission, go to Jugger Y. If you use a mission code, you don't actually get... I don't think... You don't get the experience with you, so... We'll have to rely completely on our save games. Otherwise, the entire benefit of having experience gets wiped away, and that's no good. Well, on to the next mission, I guess. I'll start the mission and end there. Just to see how the... So I don't recall the mission transitions. And I don't know... I didn't save at the end of that one, so I can't exactly just load up. Introduction of a new unit. Buggy. It's a reconnaissance vehicle with I think a longer short-range missile. The Ranger, with its ground-to-ground missiles, has an attack. Oh. The Ranger was the scouting unit. This is I think this is a very bad version of this game. But yeah, the Buggy with its ground-to-ground missiles attack range of 2 fields. Defense Council Halwa. In the early hours of the morning, our units succeeded in a surprise attack on an enemy positions which, for the time being, has weakened their lines. Advancing rapidly, the Drullian troops are carrying out attack after attack upon the enemy in order to capture the fortified settlement of Pank. Intelligence reports. Now, the terrain around Pank, with its enormous open spaces, requires careful reconnaissance and courageous attacking spirit. The time is nigh. Glory to the room. Now, occupy the city of Pank. There's its locations. Wipe out all demon and ranger units. Huh. So units that are able to capture. A few minutes ago our reconnaissance satellite was destroyed, so now we can't see everything. Use your units now to reconnaissance the battle area. And this is what an unrecognized area looks like. Fog of War looks like map like this, but it's instead of being colorful like this, I think it's grayed out. Yep, and I'll save, and we'll just end here. I don't actually see any buggies at the moment, so I'm guessing we're fighting against them. We might be able to capture some too. But yeah, the only new unit we have here is the Snake, and that's an armored car. It's weaker than the Technotrax, moves more. Yeah, and that's about it. Huh.